We had 16 clears and a lot of four-faulters. 2 of the four-faulters got round. We're now walking the course for the second round of these Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix here in Lausanne. It's a beautiful evening here. And Steve, the first round was interesting, dramatic in places, but I think better to come.
Absolutely, and I mean, we talked about there being lots of clears in there. We didn't think the four-faulters would be getting in. We've actually got 3 of them still in there. 2 of them were on the same time, so they're actually taking 19 through if we look down from that point of view. So it's making it very interesting indeed. And this second round course is where we're going to sort them out. From your point of view, you know, you started walking the track. First fence, fairly straightforward, and then up to fence 2 here.
Yeah, fence 2 here. I mean, they're 2 very normal fences, Steve. And then from here, they go into the corner and back over this orange and white fence. And then first of the related distances, about, 6 or 7 around the corner to number 4. But again, this course is not quite as big as I expected it to be.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it in first round. We thought, well, is it big enough? It certainly sorted them out. There was certainly plenty of technical challenges in there, and the poles are falling all over the place.
They are actually, but he's building for the field that he's got, you know. But I mean, this is 3 off the top. Normally, that would have been. I would have expected that to have been 1 hole higher. It's easy to stand here and say it's easy, you know. I haven't got to ride it, but to me, you know, it is not a hurtful track at all. There's a related distance up here. I'd like to go and walk this, and then I'll meet you over there, back at this double. Go and have a look at the in part of that double there, because that's a big fence. I just want to walk this distance here, okay?
Okay, well, you can have a look at that one, as you say, from this on the curving line down here to fence 5. Steve's going to walk that out and just work out all how that's going to work for distance for our riders coming up. And then back over, as he said, we've got a big spread to come in after that. But this vertical here with the plank just on top, again, flat cup. Falls very, very easily. Steve, what do you get down there?
It's a real half one, you know. I would think they'll go down there in 5 or 6 strides. You know, they could hold up for 5 round the corner if they open the corner. But I would think that it's a big oxer there. They'll land running. I think they'll come and keep coming on the 5. But it's an optional fence here, not optional fence, optional distance, you know. Round the corner is a little bit more heavier business. Let's go and have a look at that. We can walk it up to the front of this oxer.
Okay, then you should bend actually.
Around, they've got to go around there. They've all got to go the same way. Again, the time will be very interesting. But let's just have a look at the size of this oxer into here. Now, that is a big oxer going into a double.
Certainly is. I mean, you stand here and look at that. I mean, I know we're going to give it the Hadley nose test of how big this is going in, but round about 155 is what I reckoned as well.
Yeah. Normal stride to the out part. 2 strides, actually. We'll just have a step at that. Yeah, 12, nearly 13, plenty of room to work in there, but it's a big oxer in there. You'll need plenty of room in here because, you know, they've got 2 strides then to a tall vertical. And then another related distance around the corner there, straight on there, that'll be 6 or 7 strides, you know. Again, they can open the corner. A difficult line, actually. We'll just have a look at that, Mario, if we can. At that line from here to there. It's a very oblique angle, you know, and they've got to go 3 strides straight, holding, turn right, and 3 or 4 strides then into the corner. That won't be an easy fence to jump, and it's 155, 160, you know, so not easy. And then from there, they've got another difficult distance. We can amble over there, if you like, because there's a difficult distance from an oxer on the corner to the treble combination, which is quite big, and a related distance, a very committed related distance. If you'd like to hang on to the mic and talk to our customers.
You can walk that one, and actually, I'm going to try and just grab. Boys, I can just have you a minute. Luke Musette. Luke, your thoughts on the first round?
Sorry?
Your thoughts on the first round?
Yes, it's good.
Yeah, happy with that, Brown?
Very good, very good.
So,
No, I think the second one is a little more difficult. And now maybe 6, 8, 9, clear. But it's good jump off.
well, you've done a very good job so far. We'll see how it plays out. Steve Yesley has just gone for the walk round to the next line. There he is over there. Okay, back we come. I got caught up with the course designer. Where are we going?
Now keep up. It's again, it's a forward 5, a very committed 5, into a real skinny vertical. You know, there's not much underneath there, so it's a rider line. They've got to get a very good line off the corner. It's difficult off the corner there because it's not a wide oxer, but it's very tall, 155, but right past the entrance. And then a very related distance. Nobody likes being committed to a big combination like this. We'll just walk by there and then carry on to the next line. The treble combination itself is not huge. It's plenty big enough. Sure, it's big enough, you know, and it's normal distance, 9 paces and 9 paces. But it's getting into it that's the problem. Yeah. You know, it's the line that they're going to take.
And actually, in the first round, as we saw, I mean, he had a double down here, coming there on an angle into the double. It's now extended out to a combination. A similar line to what he's used a little earlier on this time. He's used a similar sort of trick.
Very similar, you know. I mean, it's they've got to be up there pushing the right buttons. They've got to be pulling at the right time and kicking at the right time, otherwise they're going to miss here, you know, big style. That's a big oxer in the middle there. And another very big oxer around the corner there. I've already walked that. I made that 7 strides. Fence 10, and then there's another one. We'll walk over to this big vertical here. I've noticed some of the riders here walking this distance a couple of times, which means they're a little bit concerned about it, because the last line, you can see there's a big oxer up there at fence 10, but this last line here is a very, very committed line from a tall vertical. This is maximum height 160, and on down there, right back towards home for fence 12. It's going into a black background. It's a black pole. It's got a water tray underneath, but it's not tremendously high. I mean, it's 150, 155 high, you know. So overall, I think it's a very jumpable track. Yeah. You know, I've seen bigger. We've both seen bigger, and I would say, what have we got? 16 clears and a couple of 4s. I could see there being almost double clears, almost double figures of double clears.
Well, I mean, Luke's just said, I mean, he wouldn't be surprised if you saw 8 and 9. I think that's what we were getting to, but we'll see.
Yeah, I would say I would agree with that. You know, I would say at least 9. I'll stick my neck out and say at least 9. I think that we could well get into double figures. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter whether we get 4. Doesn't matter whether we get 14. It'll still be a super competition. You know, you don't need dozens of clears or double clears to make a great competition out of it. You know, we only had 4 in Chantilly, only 2 in Monaco. So, but I think tonight is going to be one of the gallopy ones, because the jump-off track is a speedy one as well. And I think we're going to get plenty of clears to attack it, and 1 or 2 fast horses towards the end.
Well, let's go and have a look at that last fence, as you mentioned. We're going to go up towards the finish. Fence 12. They're just putting the final touches to the surface here as well. And, well, absolutely perfectly produced. Great to have good weather here at Lausanne this year. The last couple of years it's been a bit damp, but this year we're much better style.
Yes, it's a lovely conditions this evening for show jumping. You know, it's nice and cool. The light is super. This kind gentleman here is just going to give me the time allowed, which is 72. That doesn't sound a lot to me. A big oxer and going absolutely right to the exit. You know, okay, horses at this level should cope with that all right. But look at the width on this. Have a look at that, Mario. Just have a look at the back pole. Turn that way. Show the customers how wide that is. Well done. And this is the last fence. You know, it's a big oxer, that is, with a water tray underneath. So, it'll be good. It'll be interesting.
It'll be very good indeed. As we look down the order of who we got in there, Jose La Roca will be last to go. We got Spain in there with Pilar Cordon. She's very quick indeed as well. Yannicka Sprunger all the way through, the likes of John Whittaker, Luc Gebirbam. We're not lacking anything in experience in there.
No, I mean, I think you've got a real top horse, for example, from the home contingent here from Switzerland, Pierre Switzer with 2 Largo. I mean, he's already been well up there in 1 or 2 of these Grand Prix. He's won World Cup qualifiers. The horse has got all the capabilities. He's due a change of fortune, Steve, you know, because he had a pretty miserable week last week in Normandy at the World Equestrian Games. I'm surprised he's brought him out again, but he thinks the horse wasn't at his best form last week. He can go and reverse it this week. It might be his turn tonight. He'll be quick, and he's fairly well down the order.
Well, it could be reversed at the top of the table as well for the Longines Global Championship Tour Series 2. Remembering the Wiener Tops Alexander is in here, and Rolf Jorenbeck's who leads is out. Henrik van Eckermann is out in this round, so it could all change around. So we'll see how it plays out for round 2 this Longines Global Champions Tour here in Lausanne. You and I are going to go and head up to the commentary box. So from all of us here in Lausanne, we'll see in a few minutes' time when the action gets underway for round 2. Welcome to the Longines Global Champions Tour, second round here in Lausanne. All playing out, and it's going to be very exciting. You need 19, in fact, going forward to round 2, as we had equal scores for Jane Richard Phillips and Michael van der Vleuten as they sat in equal 18th place. And as we can see behind the scenes, ducking and diving, they are all preparing to go forward to that second round. A great mix in there, and it's going to be an exciting one once again for this leg of the Longines Global Champions Tour. Leg 12 of the 14 to come this season. And, well, we've still got Vienna to come next week, and then finally a few weeks away before we finally head to the last leg of the series in Doha. Very different setting for that at Al Shakab. As you can see, crowds milling back in now. We've had pack stands all the way through the first round, and a little bit of a chill in the air now as we're right by Lake Geneva, as it's a lovely, gorgeous, in fact, day leading into evening here in Lausanne. It's been quite warm through the day. It's stayed nice and dry and lovely conditions for the sport. Luc Musette there just giving a few last tips and also a little insight to his course to the Longines team. Juan Carlos Capelli there, Vice President of Longines, discussing the course with Luc Musette. And, well, he's done a super job in round 1. I talked to him a little earlier on. Very happy with round 1 of what he's got through. And when we started off, we thought, well, we might have had a real raft of clears, maybe even more than the 18. Certainly we expected the 18 slots to be filled, but in the end there are 3 in there on 4 faults, the rest on a 0 score. Just getting a photo for the scrapbook. Yeah, that's it, give us a wave. And there we are. A special evening for many, enjoying all the sport here in Switzerland. Edwina Thops-Alexander through to round 2. As we mentioned already, Rolf-Joran Bengtsson and Henrik van Eckermann 1 and 2 in the order on the Longines Global Champions Tour rankings, leading the top few, not through to the second round so far. So if Edwina can produce a good round, better than a score so far, that could all change around. We wait and see, because the best 7 scores across the season. So the spotlight's going to be on her a little bit this evening, and she's on her ride that finished second in Shanghai Old Chap 10. So it's all going to be very, very tense indeed. They're taking their seats, ready for the second round. 19 in all to come forward. Last year it was Lucy Davis who finished top. She's also through this year, this time with a different rider, Curtis, but we'll start on the 4 faults, and we're nearly set to go for the second round. All to play for here in Lausanne for the Longines Global Champions Tour. So welcome to the setting of the Longines Global Champions Tour here in Lausanne. A fascinating shake-up for round 2. 19 going forward to the second round. 3 of them on 4 faults. We'll run through those in a few minutes' time. The order for the Longines Global Champions Tour rankings could all change around. We'll explain that to you as well in a few minutes. We just saw a fantastic round from Scott Brash. That was back in London in the last leg of the Longines Global Champions Tour. We're into leg 12 now of 14. Lausanne this week, Vienna next week. And there is the series leader at the moment, Rolf-Joran Bengtsson, as unfortunately he's hitting the sidelines as he didn't make it through to that second round. So it makes it a lot more interesting indeed. He on 221 points. Henrik van Eckermann just behind. Well, afraid he didn't go through either, but this lady is still in there, Edwina Tops-Alexander with Old Chap Tem. So if she can improve on her scores, she could well move back to the top of the table. They're already, they're under the spotlight, they're under the lens as well, as the very best in the world are being shown here in Lausanne. They're taking their seats ready. We've had pack stands all the way through round one, and now returning to their seats for some exciting action to come on this beautiful evening here. It's been a warm sunny day alongside Lake Geneva here in an absolutely stunning setting of this wonderful Swiss centre for the Olympic Committee and many of the leading committees for sports as well, including equestrianism. And it's certainly a worthy stage for top sport. So how did they get on in round one? Well, Jose Larroca produced the best of the times in round one, the fastest of the clears, with his ride of GDE Matrix, the Argentinian rider based in fact here in Switzerland, and he will be last to go in this second round. Absolutely top draw round to get him into the best of the positions in round two. Can he produce it once again? Will he be the man who tops the table here in Switzerland? Rolf Joran Bengtsson, well, no surprise, I've already mentioned, unfortunately doesn't feature in round two. 2 down in the Longines combination. The poles were falling all over the place on Luc Musette's course. An interesting challenge, and one that also caught out Henrik van Eckermann, the man currently second in the series, also on 201 points. He was hoping to feature too, and unfortunately he won't be. So again, it leaves the door open for the series lead to change around once again. Here was where the pole came, just on that back bar, and a great testimony to the course. There's been poles all over the place. Unfortunately, it was the first pole for the world number one, Scott Brash. Surprising from him with Hello Annie, and unfortunately later ones as well meant he raised the hand and saved the combination for another time. So again, he not to feature, remember, winning 3 legs of the Longines Global Champions Tour already this season. Estoril, Cannes, and of course the last leg in London as well. So it makes it all the more interesting as well for those coming forward in this second round. And that's where the second pole came, and Scott said enough's enough. So as we look out on the arena for tonight's action, these are the combinations coming forward. First 3, so Jane, Michael and Lucy Davis will all start on 4 faults. Then we're into the clear rounds. Harry Smolders, Don VHPZ for the Netherlands. Tino Onassis de Miranda again produces the goods. Edwina Tops-Alexander, Old Chap Tem going clear for Australia. Erko Schroeder, different ride, not the usual Glocks London. This time it's Cognac, Chamblon, Le Gebeerbaum and Charmin. They're right up there in the order for the series, currently in full spot for the world number 2. John Whitaker and Argento, delighted to see them up there. We've got a great mix of experience in there. Paul Esterman, Castlefield Eclipse looking back at its best. Yannick Sprunger also in there, and then finally the last to go. 19 this time, as I say, we had 2 tied on that final 18th time, so 19 going forward. Jose Larroca will be last to go. And anything, well, if we've got double clears, well, triple clears if you like after that, well, they will be going head to head in a jump off. And Steve Hadley, well, you've been having a look at the track. Take us around.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's to be honest, it's not as strong as I expected it to be. You know, I think it's again a very jumpable track. I think horses are really jumping well off this ground. Straightforward, longish way from 1 to 2. Related distances all the way up here, 3 to 4. That'll be 6 or 7 strides, 6 I would think. And then straight on then to fence 5, a tall vertical 5 strides away. Could open the corner, could come 6, but I can't see it really, that it's an advantage. A big oxer there into that double, 2 strides to a 155 vertical, a related distance down here on 7 strides, possibly. They might even take a stride out there. Around the corner, this is a difficult line because it's a big oxer and a very 5 committed strides to the treble combination. As you can see, a tall vertical, a big oxer in the middle and another tall vertical. Related distance, 7 strides around the corner to a big oxer and a wide one too. And then another line here, which this is a bit tricky because it's a big oxer and about 7 strides again, straight on to an open ditch there. Oxer fence, straight over, straight into the entrance.
Well, a time allowed of 72 seconds, and we're under the lights now. We started off in round 1 in the sunshine. Now it's under the floodlights here in Lausanne. So it's going to see how this plays out. Last year went right to the wire with Lucy Davis as the eventual winner over Patrice Delaveau in a final jump-off, and I think we could be in for another cracker. Starting off with 4 faults is Jane Richard Phillips, and Pablo de Verton finished well several times last season. Top 5 finishes with this ride for the Swiss rider husband, Ignaz Phillips, watching on. I think he's on his 3rd one of those for the evening. He's chewing through those this evening as a bag of nerves. But it's great to see this Longines ambassador once again now sparkling under the lights here. Bassem Hassan Mohammed, he comes a little bit later on. He's watching on keenly. Of course, he was winner in Monaco. Can he produce the goods again? And Steve, well, we start with 3 on 4 faults, but there were a raft of them on 4 faults, and as usual, a few, hard luck stories in there as well.
Yeah, there were, certainly were. Yes, I would agree with that. I don't normally blame bad luck, but several times I've heard myself saying that tonight, because 1 or 2 combinations have very straightforward first 3 or 4 fences. They've got to be conscious of the time here, which Jane is. That's a big vertical, it's 160. A related distance there, then half a dozen strides. 5 to that plank, a bit tight on the tight side. Tall plank, very gappy. This is the biggest fence on the course. That looks big, doesn't it? She makes nothing of it. 2 strides there. 7 down the bottom, to the bottom end of the arena. And then this tricky line here, 5 strides. That is very committed indeed. They've got to land there and just keep rolling. Combination is not that tricky. And she's trying to make a good time here as well, because she's carrying 4 faults. This is against the clock here. It takes a flyer there. She needs to jump this, because this could get good money with 4.
Yes.
And she gets away with it. Very enterprisingly ridden round there, because, as Steve will explain, that she's carrying 4, and a lot of the clear rounds are going to have 4. So she's going to be faster.
Absolutely, and we saw it earlier on in the year, the likes of Pia Schwitzer doing exactly that, 4 and clear, lifted him right up the order, because those that had actually had clears dropped down. Sheikh Ali bin Khalid Al Thani there, unfortunately he doesn't feature in round 2, but he'll be there supporting Bassem Hassan Mohammed. So yes, absolutely right on the strategy there from Jane. Put in a clear, sit back and wait for the others to make the mistakes and keep loading up the money banks.
Yes, exactly. It was 64.80. And the time allowed 72, so she was, a long way inside, but she was travelling.
She was batting, Right, Michael van der Vleuten had the same time as Jane in round 1. I don't think that's going to be the case here. He also carries through 4 faults. Video Group Sapphire B. 1 here already this week. Part of the gold medal winning team for the World Equestrian Games. Adds to his silver medal for the Olympic Games. He's absolutely on fire at the moment. But again, similar strategy, I would think, here, Steve.
Well, I was just going to say, that the first 3 here are virtually going against the clock.
Yeah.
This is a time jump-off for them. Yeah. The others... Oh, dear. The others now, his bridges are burnt now. He might as well pull up. But, it's money all the way down the line to 18, so he'll keep going. The others, after these first 3-4 falters, the others are just after a double clear. Having said that, they still want to have a pretty sharp clear, so that they can go down towards the end.
You don't want to hang around and go and have a time fault or anything silly like that, which we have seen.
Certainly have, yes, but the time in this round, if they're double clears, the fastest goes last.
All good stuff.
Yeah.
There we go. Finishes on the 4 and adds it to the 4 from a little earlier on, so finishes on the 8, 64.19. 8 faults there. Yeah, for Michael van der Vleuten. Chose us a little bit of space in there, but I'm afraid it is another one down in this round, so takes it up to the 8, so Jane moves ahead. She gets a few more quid already. Or euros.
Euros or Swiss francs.
Yes, Swiss francs. In this case, it's euros.
Yeah. 300,000 euros up for grabs tonight.
You can convert it into whatever that you like after that.
Yeah, I take my time doing it.
Yeah. It takes a long time to stuff the mattress. Right, on to Lucy Davis, winner here last year. This time it is the ride of Curtis 72. Again, starts with the 4 faults. Last of those to start on the 4. Was winner here last year with Barron. New ride now for this young lady from America, training with Marcus Beerbaum and Meredith Michaels Beerbaum as well. Also studying at Stanford too. Combines all that, then spends the summers competing at the top level, winning things like the Longines Global Champions Tour and a bronze medal as part of the team at the World Equestrian Games.
And riding a relatively new horse,
Yeah.
a good horse too, formerly ridden by Jérôme Goury of Belgium. And she only took over the ride in May of this year. Horse with a big spring, a lot of quality, a lot of ability. Got bundles of jump, this, hasn't he? Oof, a little bit deep there, but a good horse to come off that front rail.
Oh no.
Which just left her a bit headlong into that. That to me, that is the trickiest line we've seen here today or yesterday to that treble combination, because it is so committed on the 5. That will cause a lot of problems, I think, in this round, and has done already.
Well, 4 in this round as well makes a total of 8, 65.52, which moves her below Michael van der Vleuten. And as the strategy paid already, Jane Richards-Phillips has gone from first in. She's gone up a couple already. But Lucy winner here last year. What a super round that was. And Steve here into the double.
He was just a bit forward all the way. I mean, she had a forward stride into the treble combination, another forward stride to the one that followed it. And it was just... You know, he could have jumped that, actually. He just went straight on a little bit.
Now, Harry Smulders. Copernicus Stables, Don VHPZ. Ride of Seer Coulter, still owned by the Copernicus Stables. It's produced in the UK originally. The Brendan Stud. And now, on to win the likes of Royal Windsor Grand Prix. Now Harry... combining with his taking over the ride this last few months, certainly getting on very well. Harry, we've already seen win this week as well with Regina Zen a little earlier on today. Was in the...
Sorry, were you going to say something?
Okay. All yours.
It must be uppermost on a rider's mind as to exactly how fast they want to be going in this second round, because obviously they've got to get into the jump off. They've got to leave all the fences up. You know, that was a bit of a late mistake for Harry. Now it's a bit late for him to try and make up the time. They've got to try and leave all the fences up, but they want to try and improve their time as much as they can, or their placing, because in a class like this where there's likely to be quite a few clears, it's a big advantage to go at the end, isn't it?
Well, finishes on the 4:68.89. And actually, you see how that plays out, because on 4:40 slower than Jane Richards-Phillips. Up she bumps again.
Up she goes again, yeah, exactly as we said. Yeah, good illustration.
But again, here in the combination, just bumps off the back pole.
There's no margin for error round there whatsoever. They have got to go on that committed 5 strides, like it or not. They want a really good shot at the oxer off the corner before it, and that's not easy to get to.
Well, plenty enjoying a glass of Coke or whatever it is this evening. Enjoying watching the sport, probably with a nice glass of claret as well if they're lucky. Adina and our sister Miranda, AD Camille Z. Another super clear from her in round 1. Such consistency from this combination.
I shouldn't think that Athena will go too quick on this lovely mare, that she'll just try and jump a clear round.
Yeah. We'll just go for the clear again.
Do her own thing.
Finished well up the order earlier on this season in several of the Grand Prix. So finished 5th in Chantilly, 6th in Estoril. Oh no. Well, again, that makes it harder because she's going to be a slower time. So again, those like Jane start to move up even more.
This man's getting his faults all the way round, you know. I mean, that distance that down to that fence that she's just had, it's the most straightforward 7 strides.
Yeah. His finishes on the 4. 69.40. Yeah. But like you say, Luc Musette has certainly tested them out more with subtlety today than anything else.
Clodagh just illustrating what I was said, you know, she was committed on the 7 strides to that, the 7 he just said with his hand pointed forwards. It said the horse just went straight on.
Yeah.
For once, look, you can see it now. The horse actually ignored it. Did that once in the first round, that mare. Grabbed at her and towed her into a fence, and there, you know, I wouldn't blame Athena for that. The mare just got a bit mouthy on the way there and disregarded her advice. Missed his mouth. They do at that age, don't they?
Absolutely, you can do it at a later age as well. Now to Italy. Simone Coata of Italy, Cannavaro 17. First appearance this season on the Longines Global Champions Tour. One of 4 Italians competing here. Producing a lot of young horses in recent times. Unfortunately, already taken this up. This would be one of the bigger tracks. I think he's jumped.
Jumped the first one well, didn't he? Proper job.
And the smile on his face said it all.
Yeah. He's took a stride out down there. That is a rotten line to that fence. It really is.
And we talked about it. I mean, in round 1, he said an interesting line down there was a double then.
Yeah.
On an almost right angle, and that caught out a few as well into a very tight double through there. Finishes on the 8, 68.71 for Simone Coeta, and Cannavaro 17 for Italy. So we've had 3 of our clears gone and dropped down the order. And I look at the order. Jane Richard Phillips is now at the top of it. She was first to go on the 4, 64.80.
You know, it's one thing for me to say that is a difficult line there, but that looks difficult, doesn't it? You know, where you can see the way they're having to ride it. On an angle like that, away from home, over that oxer first, over a big oxer, and then so committed on 5.
Well, now Australia, Edwina Tops-Alexander, crucial rounds. Combination that finished second in Shanghai. 2-time winner of the Longines Global Champions Tour Series. Husband Jan Tops watching intently. This could be a crucial one within the whole of the shake-up of the series, which currently lies in 3rd place. Same score as Henrik van Eckermann, who's in second on 201.
Could be our first clear. He jumped a good first round, didn't he? This horse tries to jump every fence. He was a good horse with Eugenie Ango, and he's a good one with Edwina too. This tricky fence here, big vertical, 155 or 160 that is. You can see it's only about 1 hole off the top. Now this very difficult line.
Oh no. Oh, in all sorts of trouble.
That, yeah.
Well,
those pictures tell you that, you know, you don't need me to, anyone needs me to tell them again that that is a very, very difficult line indeed. And this horse is a bit short of match practice. He wouldn't do that under normal circumstances, and it just didn't work for her, did it really? No mistake attached to Edwina at all. He looks in need of a jump, although he did jump a good first round. What a good little horse. What a brave fella. What to come back again. Having put down on her in there. brave enough decision on Edwina's part, and he was equally brave to come and jump it for her.
There we go.
Yeah.
Picks up time as well, takes him up to a total of 14.77.84. Rolf Göran Bengtsson. Well, he could still be at the top of the table. I think he's doing the maths.
He would be well aware of the sums
Oh,
involved.
absolutely.
Disappointing there, though, for Edwina. You really feel for her.
Yeah, he's working it out. We'll see how it shakes up at the end of this. We don't quite know. It depends what one or two down the line do. Well, we will see. Romain Duguay and Corrida Trejo for Switzerland. We've seen several through for the home nation. This rider joining them. Winner in Rotterdam, finished second in a big class in St. Gallen earlier on this season. And you have to say, Steve, we're not getting the clears now.
I was just working out how many we've got to go, because I was the clever clubs that said we could get double
Yeah.
clears.
Yeah.
We could get double figures of double
I'm
clears.
talking to Luke Musette earlier on. I'm not sure this was quite what he was seeing as playing out either. Good way to go yet, though.
Yeah.
And as you said earlier, it doesn't matter whether we get 2 go through or 10 go through.
No, not
it's
really.
Going to be
Either way, I mean, Monaco was a terrific competition and a really entertaining jump off. We only had 2 clears.
Yeah.
Chantilly was the same, only 4 clears there, but 4 of the best in the world.
On 4. Stays on 4. 66.25. And, well, puts him into... well, of course, we've got our 4 faulters equal at the moment. If we get a clear, that will change around. So, in theory, if you like, second, assuming we get clears, maybe a little bit further down. But Jane Richard Phillips with the best of scores so far, 4 faults, 64.80. But if we've got 4 of them on 4 faults at the moment, depending what's to come. Now, he was the one who reigned in Monaco.
I'd like to see her jump a clear tonight.
Yeah.
Lovely mare.
Victoria. With Basim Hassan Mohammed. Pier Giorgio Bucci now for Italy. Catwalk Z.
Well, he jumped a good first round as well.
Yeah.
As did 1 or 2 more of those that have got to come.
And he actually just touched a pole in the double earlier on, got away with it, rattled it round the cups, and it stayed there. So got to ride a little bit of luck in there. What was, as you say, a very nice round anyway.
He was just too low in front there, wasn't he?
Three-time member of European Championship squad. This big win coming at the Stefex Masters a few weeks ago in Belgium.
He made a real good job of that line there and that treble combination, didn't he?
Finishes on the 4, 67.07. A little further down the order. Another one on the 4 faults. If you like, officially we've got 5 of them on 4 faults on an equal score. Let's have a look at this one, Steve.
Careless mistake, wasn't it, really? I mean, he just went straight on to put it in a one-liner. He didn't jump either.
Yeah.
And jumped a very good first round as well, but that was a fence that would have been just as easy to jump it as knock it down, wouldn't it?
Well,
Jane Richard Phillips must think all the Christmases are coming at once at the moment.
Well, that's how it sits at the moment. Officially, as you say, you can see it's got 1 next to all of those. If we get a clear, that all changes around and they all get placed. But Jane Richard Phillips with the best of the scores, 4 faults, 64.80. We've got 5 of them on the 4 faults at the moment. Then a little further down the order, that's how it pans out. Lucy Davis being at 4 in this round and is on the 8 faults as well. Unfortunately, Not the second round she would have wanted for Edwina Tops-Alexander. Le Goubert there now. He's one that could slip up the order here for the LGCT series. And I think Rolls, again, back having to think about that one. It'll be what it'll be. Coats on this evening. It's a little bit chillier. A glass of vino I see as well being smuddled amongst the handbags. But, yeah, I don't blame him. A little bit chillier this evening.
It is Switzerland, though, after all, isn't it, really?
We're alongside, say, Lake Geneva. A little bit of a chill in the air. It's been a gorgeous sunny day. Very warm, very nice, clear Swiss air. Wonderful, healthy environment. Feeling better already, having been here for a few days. Ignaz Phillips there.
Katie and Henri Prodon having a jar at the back.
Well, they're all with the Jane Richard Phillips team. And we know at the moment, whatever happens, that she's going up the money at this stage. Unless we end up in a jump-off with the full falters, I think it's unlikely. But you never know.
You never know. I was just thinking that, If the terribly unlikely were to happen,
yes.
would Jane Richard Phillips win it, or would they have to?
No, they stay equal, so they jump off.
And she'd go last.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, they jump off.
Well, that's not going to happen.
I don't think it's going to plan.
Because Herco is going to jump clear now.
Absolutely.
Come on,
Herco Schroeder.
Pull yourself together.
Cognac Chamblon, 11-year-old by Clearway. Again, another gold medalist from the World Equestrian Games, part of that successful Dutch team. I think we've got clears to come yet.
This one, for sure.
This was a super first round. I know we've said that about several, but this really was. And you were one. Got two more shinier horses here this week, as opposed to Glocks London. Jumps such super rounds in.
Wasn't that beautifully ridden to that plank there? He just sat there and waited for the fence to come to him. Sat still on the last stride, gave the horse time to jump it. This would be a big horse for him to ride, because he's only a little fella. And having said that, he can ride anything. And, wouldn't you be... Let's watch him jump this. Brilliant. Wouldn't you be feeling good about the week he had last week? Coming here with a new gold medal. Two fences. Time is fine. Just this big oxer.
Time is close.
Very good. Ooh, 71.80.
Yes. 72 seconds.
72 seconds.
Watching from the back seats here. Herco Schroeder, though, gives us the clear Cognac Chamblon. So he gives us clear round number one. And as we say, we talked about the full falters, but we knew from the series that we've got here that he gives us the clear, as you correctly predicted.
Well, I think I like this horse. He's a nice horse, and he's got all the ability, and I fancy adding that to London. In your string as well. What else he's got? I mean, that is a real Grand Prix stroke Nations Cup World Championship Olympic horse, isn't it?
And well,
I wouldn't want to pay his phone bill. He's probably only texting.
He's probably got a very good deal. Le Goubert, Shaman, currently Longines World number 2.
Come on, Ludger. We want you in the mix.
Overall rankings, currently 4th on the overall rankings for the Longines Global Champions Tour Series on 196.
It'd be a joy to watch him ride that line, wouldn't it? That last line into that treble combination. Look at the way he just carried him over that plank. Oh. Wrapped those long legs around him, kept the front end up there. Keep on with the front end. Oop, he comes, well done. Now, committed 5. Good shot. He's going 6. And that would have been premeditated, you know. Now he's got to push up to make the time a bit, which he can do over these next. He's perceptively got a bit sharper. I would say he didn't mean to add the stride, you know. I thought at first he would, but the way he speeded up, he hadn't accounted for that.
Yeah.
And he's had to make up for it. 2 seconds, Hendrik says, oh, thank God for that. He's clear, but he was just inside the time.
Yeah, exactly. So it is Sharman and Ludger Beerbaum that go through. Quickest told them 69.11, but they'll go through. Ludger Beerbaum and Sharman. We got 2 through. Yoko Schroeder will get us underway with Cognac Chamblon and Ludger Beerbaum with Sharman. That was a class ride as you expect as usual from that one.
Absolutely. But I would love to know Ludger's opinion on that as to whether he intended to go 6. I thought at first he did.
Yeah.
But I don't think he did. And he's laughing about it, look. Look, yeah, he said, I can't believe it. He said, I took a pull and he stopped to nothing.
Yeah.
So wonderful improvisation to suddenly think, wait for the next one.
Absolutely.
Because it was a vertical going in. Right, come on.
Yes, Basim Hassan Mohammed and Victoria produced the goods again in the first round. 12-year-old by Tangelo van der Zoethoven, winner in Monaco. Again, he's in 5th place at the moment on the overall standings for the LGCT series. And this could really start to get interesting.
We're assured of a great jump off now if we only had Herco and Ludger.
And he produced some very good rounds last week in the World Games. Oh. He's had a horse he only sat on that week, unbelievably. And takes a couple off. Just touches them away.
We want Piers Schwitzer in the mix now.
Not the whip bias. There we go.
I'll tell you something about Pierce in a minute when he comes in. Interesting.
There we go. Finishes on the 12. 70.82, 12 there for Basim Hassan Mohammed. And actually, again, the rise and rise. Jane Richard Phillips, quickest to the 4 falters. We saw that strategy now. Sits in 3rd with the 2 clears. You never know. Good lump of money coming her way.
7 to go yet, though.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're not all going to go clear. They haven't been, have they? They've only got 2 so far, but we're over halfway.
So Ludger there, blowing out his cheeks, as you say. Wondering what the strategy was there. It only took him 22 years to admit to you that he didn't. He changed his strategy in the Olympic final.
Games.
Yeah, he might do this one a bit quicker. He's Rolf Joran Bengtsson.
It's just a fact, that is. I thought he turned inside a fence in Barcelona to win the gold medal. And then I interviewed him and he told me, I have to admit it, he said I did it by accident.
Yeah, exactly.
Went the wrong way.
I think he might tell you straight off this time. Right. Piers Schwitzer, as we mentioned. Toulago, 9-year-old by Toulon. Finished well in Paris. And this would lift the Swiss.
Well, it would. I'm going to save my story till he's finished because this is interesting and important. Don't want me talking over it.
Oh.
Well, when we were
Q chapter 1.
Q chapter 1. Yeah. When we were talking, it's interesting, really, you know, for people of all levels in show jumping that you can get it wrong with just your tack. You know, I said to him when we were just walking the course, I said, come on, Pierce, you could jump a good first round. It could be your turn tonight.
Yeah.
Last week was, you consigned that to memory. He said, last week, his English is not great, as you know.
Yeah.
He said, last week, not good. He said, my fault. He said, I changed the bit.
Yeah.
And he said, the horse, he went like that.
Yeah.
I said, the horse wouldn't face
froze
it.
up, as for those that can't see us.
Froze up under it, yeah. He said he'd overbitted him. And the horse just wasn't taking him there.
Yeah.
And by the time he found out that, it was too late. He'd had his run by the one fence.
Well, finish.
Even at this level, they can get it wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Finishes on the 4:64.82. Piers Schwitzer and Toulago for Switzerland. And he drops down just below Jane Richard Phillips, actually. She stays in 3rd. He goes into 4th. Well, it's looking better and better for Jane. I think I'm going to go to her hospitality table later. There we go. Right. So Piers Schwitzer, one of the favourites in there, I'm afraid. does not progress. Could this man, John Whittaker, he and wife Claire's Argento, 12-year-old by Arco. Won in Austria a few weeks ago, big 5-star Grand Prix there. Of course, we always remember the great association with Milton, but so many other horses as well. That would be, well, I'm not going to say it yet, we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, come on, John. Brilliantly ridden. Held him off that, as good as you'd ever see one. No wonder he finished up buying him, because he is a good one, isn't he?
Yeah. Bred by Keely Durham in the first place. Yeah. I think the whole arena's riding this one.
The whole commentary point is one fence. Come on, John. Oh, that's brilliant. That is brilliant.
Now,
just the one we wanted. Now in the mix.
Well, now what I was slavering for was we've got John Whittaker and Ludger Beerbaum in a jump-off alongside Gerko Schroeder. Now, how's that for a lineup? Oh.
Well, exactly. We might get one or two more. We can do with them or without them.
Yeah.
As you say, we've got enough, but let's hope we get one or two more, and we can get them. You know, Patrice Delaveau's got to go yet. Paul Esterman's mare jumped a very good first round. But what a jump off to Sabre, Herco, Ludger, and now John. 60 years young nearly, and produces a ride like that.
Absolutely.
No wonder he's still doing it.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
And now, as you mentioned, Patrice Delaveau, France, Carreño, HDC, individual silver medalist at the World Equestrian Games last week, team silver medal as well. 13-year-old by Cascaval. Finished second here last year to Lucy Davis, just got pipped to the post. Could this be retribution time? We shall see.
Can you remember, Steve, offhand what he rode last year here?
Not offhand.
I wouldn't expect you to.
Yes, I think it was on NML, but I'd have to check it.
Yeah.
You've always got to find one for me, haven't you?
No, it wasn't intentional, honestly. I thought when I said it, I thought, oh, don't be so unfair. But with your encyclopedic knowledge,
Absolutely.
you normally know these things.
Ah, you see, I'll let you know, don't you worry.
He's gone 6. Hairy moment in the middle there. He nearly paid for the 6. Now he can open him. Oh, you see, he opened him up to get the speed,
Yeah.
to get the time, and has a fence. What a fascinating game this job is at this level, isn't it? That was a blow, really, to Patrice and us. I'd like to have seen him in there. Felt so sorry for him last week in Normandy.
Yes.
And I would have loved to have seen him getting some compensation tonight. Shakes his head and
we're going to Paul Esterman. As you say, good round from this one. Castlefield Eclipse, a regular part of the Longines Global Champions Tour and the Nations Cup Series.
how tight he's turned to that. Hardly 3 strides, if that, more like 2. This mare looks fresh and in love with the job tonight, doesn't she?
Yeah.
She's enjoying herself. Now, she'll need to be up here. Good mare, well done. Oh! Hitting.
Absolutely, finishes on the 4:68.30 there for Paul Esterman and Castlefield Eclipse. Walter van Keenel of Longines watching on. And Carlos Capelli just behind. Well, I'm afraid he drops down to 9th place. And Richard Phillips now in 4th, of course, with our 3 clears.
Some expensive pole, that, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Oh.
We still are down there in 7th spot with his round. And it was Carino HDC rode last year as well, by the way, to finish in 2nd spot. And
thank you.
Top 3, John Whittaker, Ludger Beerbaum, Hirko Schroeder. Could this lady join them? Janneke Sprunger and Aris CMS. Again, one of a few appearances on the tour this season. 9-year-old by Nassau. And last chance for the Swiss. Closer and closer.
A very good horse and a very good rider.
Yeah.
2 to go for our 4th.
I think there were about X thousand people just exhaled at the same time. Finished on the 4, 67.20, and drops her down into 9th place. Jane Richard Phillips in 4th, Pia Schwitzer the best of the Swiss in 5th. We're looking at 3 at the moment to go in there of Jirko Schroeder, Ludger Beerbaum and John Whittaker. 2 to come. And that's where it came. Oh, nothing.
The man's... That's a great shot, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the shot I was talking about, coming right towards the exit.
Yeah.
It's jumped. You can see it now, look, going right towards that exit. Ludger will be plotting and planning now his route. He'll know where he's got to go. He'll know how quick.
Yeah.
He'll know the draw.
In the meantime, Pilar Coudon could join them for Spain and Nuage Bleu. Year-old by Theodore de Lageval, another regular part of the Spanish team. James wins Barcelona before now, and amongst others. And has been very quick in classes. She does sets off at a pace.
Yeah, she does. You know, you'd have to take your hat off to Luc Musette.
Yeah.
Because he's whittled them down without tipping them upside down, hasn't he? This horse is really operating tonight, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, one more.
Come on. Now
she's in there.
That's good.
Well, Pilar Cordon in there with Nuage Bleu. 66.25 makes it 4. That was a lady rider that came on out on top here last time. Lucy Davis. The year before,
it's the best I've
Zero
seen.
Kraus. Yeah.
Was it? Yeah. Best I've seen that horse go for a while. I mean, he was really operating tonight.
Yeah.
The way he tried to jump that treble combination, really picked his legs off the poles and really tried to leave it up.
Final combination. Jose La Roca, GD Matrix. The Argentinian rider based here in Switzerland. Several times part of the World Equestrian Games squad and Olympic squad for Argentina. Been based in Europe for some time. Now produced the fastest of the clears in round 1. Has he got the same form here? And it was a really class round in the first round.
It was, you know, he jumped. It was impressive, wasn't it? Yeah. No.
A little rub and a wobble or a rubble. Yeah.
Once they get into that trouble,
Yeah.
it's not so bad because, as we said when we walked it, you know, it's not a huge trouble. It's just get into it. 1 fence for 5. And he'll be quick, won't he?
65.89, and it gives us the 5th of those going forward to the second round. We weren't too far off in the end, but Jose La Roca could be the man to shake this up tonight. We've got Netherlands, Germany, Great Britain, Spain, and finally Argentina. Another look here. It looks such a good first round as well, Stephen.
Yeah,
That's where he got away with it.
Yeah, it wasn't much of a rub, was it really? But he did, as we said, you know, he did jump a spectacular first round. He's a very quick horse and a very quick man.
Yeah.
Which order will they go in then?
They will go in the same order and down there. So Gecko will start us off. Jose will go last. It'll all come appearing up there in a few moments' time, because looking at all our screens here, and look at that in the darkness. Course being set. You'll have a look at the course in a minute, and that's how they play out. Gecko, Schroeder, Cognac, Chamblon, Luc Geberbam, Charmin, John Whisker, Argento, Pilar Cordon, Nuage Bleu, and Jose Maria La Roca, JDE Matrix for Argentina. J. Richard Phillips, in fact, finished in 6th place overall. 7th place to Pierre Schwitzer, so in fact 3 for Switzerland there. Pierre Schwitzer, Romain Duguay on the 8th place. Patrice Tolavo, Carigno HDC finishes in 9th this year. Giorgio Bucci of Italy finishing in 10th, and those a little further down the order. Lucy Davis went here last year, finishes on the 8th, 4 in each round for the US rider, with Curtis 72. Win with Barron last year, and at 16th place overall, Bassem Hassan Mohammed in 18th, Edwina Tops Alexander in 19th. Through to the second round, but didn't quite go to plan.
Jump off track.
Yes, well, it's all being set at the moment. You see there Rolf Göran Bengtsson, Luc Geberbam, and we'll have a look at the course, at the graphics in just a minute. It's going to be an interesting one, and it's sure got plenty in store. Crowds, well, it's certainly heated up in here, Steve, from that point of view.
It certainly has, you know. 1 or 2 of these fences have gone up a bit now.
Yeah.
They've taken out the first part of the treble combination, but they've still got to jump the awkward fence at fence 8.
Seeing some fantastic round. Jane Richard Phillips moves right up the order overall and setting herself into 6th place in the end. Very interesting indeed. Michael van der Vleuten here already this week. Set for that jump off. It's just a few moments away. Well, going into that jump off, this is what it looks like. Gerko Schroeder, Cognac Chamblon, Luc Geberbaum, Charman, John Whittaker, Argento, Pilar Cordon of Spain, Nuage Bleu, and finally, Jose Larroca with GDE Matrix. Certainly going to be very, very interesting indeed. Luc Geberbaum there. And Luc Musette, course designer. He's been the man tasked with tonight's course and certainly done a very good job there. Whoops. There we go.
If you look at those poles there, you see there was 2 holes showing.
Yeah.
Normally, when you'd say it's a real big... Jane Richard Phillips there. When you say it's a real big track, there's 1 hole showing. So...
Well, as you say, not much there. This is the jump-off track, Steve. What's it look like?
Well, they start at fence 4 and then take a left-hand down and go back to fence 2. And they won't be going quite that far. And then they take a a right-hander and go to fence 8, the difficult oxer off the corner, take out the first part of the treble combination and just jump the second and third bits, and then coming around the corner, then they jump the last 2 fences of the original course, 11 and 12, the big oxer there, and then turn around and gallop all the way back up the arena and jump the first part of the double at fence 6 backwards. Just the oxer there, the Longines oxer. So, a bit of a gallop.
Well, it's certainly going to be interesting as it plays out. Walter van Kettel there of Longines. Watches on, gives a wave, yeah. But there's plenty of cheering and shouting in the stands. And the biggest cheer came for those that might be following John Whittaker here. So we'll see how that plays out. But the man that's going to get us underway in the jump-off is Gerko Schroeder and Cognac Chamblanc. Gold medalist at the recent World Equestrian Games. Part of the team there with the Great Glocks London. Different ride tonight. How much will he ask of this one? And what do you do from here? I mean, the last 2 we know are going to be, you know, batting along. They are quick combinations. You've got John Whittaker, Ludger Beerbaum in there, and this guy's a class jockey, but he's got to go first.
This horse wouldn't be the fastest on the planet either. I mean, he's a gorgeous horse with a big jump, but he's slow through the air, stays in the air a long time, which is a great attribute to a show jumper. But can he get his legs to the ground fast enough? He's got 4 very speedy. I mean, John Whittaker's horse is quick.
Yeah.
Without having to talk about John, obviously. He's got to go the shortest way, hasn't he? Like there. That's a good turn. Back to that. Right-handed down to this oxer now. The crunch has been taken out of this treble combination. 7 strides. Landing there in 18 seconds. Now he's got to leg it down here. Back to these last 2 fences in the previous round. He's taken a stride out to the last here and now turn back and jump the fence 6A backwards. It's been modified, of course. He's taken a check there, hadn't got the stride he wanted, made sure of jumping the clear round. 40 seconds, a good clear round by Gerko Schroeder, but beatable.
Absolutely. Yeah, one he's really just starting to test there.
Apart from taking a stride out to the last, or adding a stride in his case, I don't think he could have gone a lot faster if he'd gone last.
No, exactly.
That's the nature of the beast. He's a lovely horse. Wouldn't be the quickest in the world. Now, crunch time.
Absolutely.
What does he do?
Ludger Beerbaum, Sharman for Germany. 4th currently on the Longines Global Champions Tour Series. Longines World number 2.
He knows how quick the others are behind him. He would never trust John, would he?
He's known him a while.
John could produce anything. And the other 2 are 2 very fast horses. Don't forget, he nearly won Chantilly and slipped up in the process and only got beat a second and a half. Travesty of justice that day. Can he put it right today? Look at that.
He's definitely motoring on more than
6, 7, 18's out. He's 2 seconds in front.
Yeah.
There's the time to beat. Now, he's got to. Is he going to take one out down here? Yes. And land on his shoulders. Come on, Ludger. Away you go. Set the standard. Give him something to do. And if he leaves this up, he has done. Brilliant round there. 37.5 seconds. I think he's left a bit. But he's clear.
Super round from a legend of the sport, Ludger Beerbaum. He's done it over and over again. Has he done enough? Ludger Beerbaum, the 15-year-old Sharman. Is it enough? Is the door still ajar? Gerko Schroeder did all he could with a ride that probably not yet got the miles on the clock.
Now then.
Talking about miles on the clock. Wins in Austria recently. Very much a horse now at the top of its career. And a man who's been at the top of his career for a very long time now, John Whittaker. Class as ever, 2 absolute superstars of the sport. Ludger preceding and John Whittaker following with Argento.
Well, I know we're broadcasting to the world, Steve. Can I be a Brit for the next minute and a half?
You can be very. I'll stay neutral. Ish.
Ish, yeah.
Now. Nice ride in Harvard as well.
He's a touch slower, isn't he?
Just a touch.
He's got to gallop somewhere. Down here would do. Come on, John. Land and gallop.
Now
he
he
can
is.
only win it with a gallop. He can only win it with a gallop.
No,
Up your beauty.
38-31, not enough.
Not enough. Ludger says, thank goodness for that.
He tries. John tried every stride.
Ludger watched every stride.
Yeah, exactly. He's come across this man before.
Oh, yeah.
The battles those two have had.
Poor John shakes his head. You know, he couldn't find any more, could he? Ludger is
Look
so
at him turn
fast.
away there.
That was a great turn there, wasn't it? And he keeps coming to this fence up here. Just had to... There's a half stride up there, isn't there, really? They're having to add one. They're having to go for the short one. John's just said it, look, just moved his hand there as if to say, should have gone on the front one, on the forward one. Could have had it down.
Yeah. And then where are you? 2 to go. Spain now. Pilar Cordon. Nuage Bleu. And she has gone very swiftly in every round I've seen so far. With every ride I've seen so far.
Could we have a turn up? 37.50. Ludger.
Yeah, he's got to sit and wait it out. He's having a chat with John.
Good shot. Keeping coming on the forward one.
Oh, no.
No. That distance is short in there if you gallop in there. The big danger man yet to come, though.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have been quick enough anyway.
38.91 finishes on the 4. Pilar Cordon goes into 4th place. Ludger Beerbaum leads. John Whittaker in 2nd. Hirko Schroeder in 3rd. Those 3 clears. Look at the quickest of them on 37.50. John on 38.31. Hirko on 40 seconds. 1 to come.
Just the distance. She galloped in on the forward stride and, you know, made up too much ground in there. He did his best. Horses jumped super and she's given him a good ride. But he would have had to have been some acrobat to jump that vertical at that speed off a stride like that. She jumped in so far. This man can be quick, can't he?
Yeah, he came in as quickest in qualifying from the first round. Jose La Roca, GDE Matrix, plenty of experience as well. And from what we've seen so far, the door still has some daylight going through it. Ludger Beerbaum there, watching on. Nothing he can do about it now.
Ludger was very quick over the first 3. Very quick.
Stayed.
It stayed.
37.50 to beat.
Has he got him? This is very close. Now he can gallop to the last. He's got to keep coming, though. He's gone round.
Yeah, he's not going to get there.
Not going to get there.
No. 39.16. It's a clear. Yes, Ludger's got another one in the bag. Ludger Beerbaum wins.
Hendrik says, well done, boss.
And look at that for a lineup. Ludger Beerbaum first, John Whittaker second, Jose La Roca there goes into 3rd. Super round from him. You certainly couldn't argue with that, could you?
No, no. But Ludger won it there with the 2nd and 3rd fences.
Well, super performance from Ludger and Sharman. And, well, we'll catch up with him as well. And all to come for the presentation. But Steve really did play out very, very well. We'll see the full lineup in just a second of how it's played out here in Lausanne and how it'll play out in the overall standings, because that one could well have changed it around. We'll get the full rundown of that to come too. But another very exciting round of the Longines Global Champions. So here we are. Ludger Beerbaum finishes top with Sharman. John Whittaker second with Argento, willing him all the way. Jose LaRocca in third with GDE Matrix. Jerko Schroeder and Cognac Chamblon finish in fourth. Pilar Coldon, another good performance, finishes in fifth. And Jane Richard Phillips, best of those from round two, finishes in sixth. A little further down the order, Pierschwitzer to Lago. The Swiss with several in there in the top few, including Janneke Sprunger and Paul Esterman and Castlefield Eclipse. A little further down, Harry Smolders, Don VHP said, a group of those on the four of our top 18. In fact, 19 that came forward. Bassam Hassan Mohammed finished on the 12. And Edwina Tops Alexander finished the best of those in round two.
Well, a delighted Ludger Beerbaum, understandably, and an equally delighted, I would say, John Whittaker, because, you know, it was, here's the head-to-head between the two of them. Two past masters of galloping. But you see, Ludger's in front already there at that second fence. And he's a stride or two strides in front of John there. As I said, he won it, to me, he won it at the third fence. He was very quick, turned in his own length. Now John's having to gallop to make it up, where Ludger just turns. This horse is so beautifully schooled. I'm not saying John's isn't, but Sharman would be just a little bit more of an athletic horse. And as they come to the last, there's not much in it, but Ludger's a stride in front, isn't he? 37.50, 38.31, nearly a second of difference, which is a lot at this level. There is the Longines Global Champions Tour points so far, the current overall standings. A lot of money attached to this, of course, at the end of the line, and we've got one more to come. Ludger Beerbaum now overtakes Rolf Göran Bengtsson, so that's a bit of a turn up for the books. Rolf very much on the cards that he was going to retake the lead from Edwina Tops Alexander tonight, but no, he gets overtaken himself by Ludger Beerbaum. One more qualifying round to come in Vienna just next week, and then it's a break then, which all horses and riders and everyone concerned can surely do with, until the great final in Doha in Qatar in November, second week in November. Put it in your diary, don't miss it. Fortune of money and some of the best show jumping you'll ever see, in a surreal surroundings of the capital city of Qatar, Doha. Jan Tops getting ready for the presentation. He started all this night.
Well, Ludger Beerbaum, congratulations. Thumbs up to everybody there. But, I mean, a fantastic performance from Sharman.
Yes, definitely. I'm really, really pleased. He jumped really great all three rounds. And then in the jump-off, once you are there, it's a pleasure to ride him forward. He turns good. And, yeah, it's a pleasure, and I'm really, really happy.
Well, looking down the leaderboard there, your old rival, John Whittaker, was in there as well. How much of a danger was he?
Yeah, very, very dangerous. I was really worried, and I actually was quite sure that he was able to go faster. And then it turned out that here and there he had an extra stride, and on his day he can go definitely faster.
Well, he's had plenty of days with you over the years from that point of view. And Jose LaRocca, I mean, it came right down to the wire there. I could see you watching that one intently.
Yes, absolutely. Chapeau. He did really, really well. I don't think he has done too many jump-offs like this with his horse, that fast, that precise. And, yeah, he had a great performance.
Well, I think it's made a big difference in the overall championship series as well to you. So very well done, and notched up another Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix win.
Yes, that's really, really nice. It's still very exciting. There's two other legs. It's not over yet. It's still a bit to go, but I'm in a really good position and really, really happy.
Well, I can see the smile coming across your face. Very well done, Ludger. Congratulations, winning here in Lausanne.
Thank you very much. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Always great value on the microphone, Ludger. I had the pleasure of interviewing him at length in Valkenschwade, you know, half an hour sit-down job, and we talked about his career from right back to the Seoul Olympics and Barcelona. And a fascinating man to talk to and a fascinating man to watch ride, isn't he? Look at the concentration, look at the use of his legs there, how he's supporting the horse with his hand and his leg. He knows exactly how fast he's got to go. He was as fast as he dared go at that stage of the draw. And he did say, and I agree with him, that Chamon has jumped fantastic tonight. There's no doubt about it. He hasn't always just been the easiest, but he's got better and better as he's got older. And he's had some great results. And I think this is just retribution for Ludger for losing out in Chantilly in that great jump off there. He finished well up there in Valkenswaard as well, which is why he's got so many points. Look how he turns on his shoulders here and gallops. Look at the eyes, look at the concentration. But he's got to get a good stride as well. This is a big vertical and he can't afford to fluff it. That's 160 up the gallop to finish. And he looks up at the clock. I think he probably might have thought, well, he's got to sit it out and worry now because he's got some very fast horses behind him. He might have just left a bit, but as it happened, he didn't, did he? As he said, John Whittaker added a stride up to the one fence, and Jose Maria La Roca couldn't quite go the pace, surprisingly enough, because it's a very fast man on a fast horse. But, superb competition, I would say, all the way through, entertaining. Plenty of incident, plenty of drama, and plenty of interest in the jump-off. Good jump-off track. I was just saying, Steve, he's always great to interview, Ludger.
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it makes my job very easy.
Yes, yeah.
I know, interesting, I was just talking, he and the rivalry, as we were talking about, he and John Whittaker, John just said to me on the way, and he said, just too slow, simple as that.
Too slow, we're too slow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's Rolf Göran Bengtsson. See how it all plays out for the overall standings for the Longines Global Champions Tour Series so far. As Ludger said, it is a few more rounds to go. Next week in Vienna.
It's Ludger's. This is I just said on air, that this is just retribution for Ludger, really, because he had the unfortunate one in Chantilly, and he was bang up there in Valkenswaard. He's had some great results, and that's why he's in a position to go on top of the table tonight with this win.
Yeah.
And one more to come yet. He could well have Chiara back for the next one as well.
Absolutely.
It's only next week.
Yeah.
She will have had a week off, a fortnight, 2 weeks after Normandy. So she'll be fresh to come out again. He could well be very close to winning that one as well.
Well, as we see our presentation party down there to present to our winners. Top three up there. John Whittaker at the gallop.
Yeah.
In second spot, as we see Jose La Roca already up there in third. And then on the sprint, Ludger Beerbaum. Up he goes.
He was a bit of a bandit in the champagne spray in the last time. Look, he sprayed
Absolutely.
everybody and then ran off.
Exactly.
I bet he does the same thing again.
They might block the stairs this time. I'll see whether John's going to spray it or what he's going to do with it.
No, John will drink it.
Jan Tops and the line up there. The national anthem of the winner for Germany, Ludger Beerbaum. Oh, there's the smile. He's won so many Grand Prix. I remember him winning a Grand Prix earlier on this season, and the delight was like a child bouncing around the room. He still gets that kick, gets that adrenaline rush from it, no matter how many you win.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting towards the end of his career now. I think if he makes it to Rio, he told me he was going to pack it in then, but he's going to have a job to leave it, isn't he?
Absolutely. I think we'll all be stopping him.
Well, exactly. I mean, John's 9 years older.
Yeah. Well, welcoming to the podium, Mark Villemire of Sport here in the local region. Congratulating each of those top three with their medals. Fabulous setting for the sport, stunning here during the day. You can see right across the Lake Geneva here, the boats out there, everybody. It just is an absolutely class setting. John Whittaker there, talking of class.
Great result for John.
Absolutely, and is always a great adage for that old phrase, form is temporary but class is permanent, and that's what's up there. Walter van Keenel, president of Longines, giving his congratulations. Great character that he is. And he'd have been bouncing up and down and going with every stride with them. And Jan Tops with a smile on his face. Two of his old rivals up there as well. John Whittaker. And look at him presenting to John. You can see the smile on Jan's face.
Been a fair while ago, you know, but Jan was Olympic gold medalist himself, wasn't he? You know, he's done it at the highest
92,
level.
yeah, Barcelona. What a lineup. Very proud group there, and what they should be very proud of is the top sport we've seen here tonight, here in Lausanne. Of course, we're heading to Vienna next week. Look after it.
You know what he's
Look
saying
after
there?
it.
He said, take that away, put it somewhere safe, because it's going to get drenched
Look
in a
after
minute.
it, because I know what's coming
He
next.
knows what's coming next.
Yeah, and if I were you boys, I'd get, yes, I think our gentlemen need to get off the stand, because, yes, there we go, just behind there. Secreted a little earlier on. Looker is not getting away with it this time.
No, he's not.
But I think John's in a corner. Laughing away. He's never seen John give so much booze away. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely sodden. The three of them. Jose LaRocca actually spent a fair bit of time in the UK, if I remember right, as well, so he's familiar with the whole group here too. Have a slurp, boys. Very well done. Yeah, there we go. What a fantastic... John, put it down. They deserve it. Absolutely deserve it. John can't leave the empty bottle. He's going to leave it empty. Jan watching on. Oh, what have we got? Oh dear. It's been a good week for the Whittakers as well. His nephew William winning up in Spruce Meadows as well. Super performance from him, and it's been a wonderful performance there. They are great characters of the sport, and they have produced it again and again and again and again. Well,
A bit like this particular class. It
Yes.
keeps reproducing itself,
Yeah.
which is a great class, isn't it?
great format, as you
There's no
say,
doubt
brings the
about it.
best jumpers to the top.
Yeah.
Right, up we go in the saddle. Luca's already up there. There we go, lap of honour. Congratulations to our top three here in Lausanne. A wonderful leg of the Longines Global Champions Tour. Well, it stayed dry from the skies this time, but it didn't stay dry on the podium. Brilliant stuff from all three of them. Ludger Beerbaum, John Whittaker and Jose LaRocca, the final three atop the podium here in Switzerland. We've got another day of competition to come here yet, but it's Ludger that takes the winner's medal. It adds it to a list of wins he'd had in the Longines Global Champions Tour before. Now Valkenswaard, with the most recent since, went close, and he's gone very close this season on the podium in Valkenswaard. As you say, Chanty, another very good performance there too. He'll encourage them as much as anything.
Rarely seen Ludger as animated.
Yeah.
He is absolutely chuffed, isn't he?
Yeah, I think the further he's got into his career, the more he enjoys the wins now.
Well, it was all about ability and class from a bad draw.
Yeah, and more congratulations to his owner, Madeline Winter-Schultz, once again. Sharman, super performance, thumbs up, and rightly so. Very well done from all of us here on the Longines Global Champions Tour here in Lausanne. Another fantastic leg. What a performance by all of them, and we look forward to seeing you all very, very soon.
Félicitations aux trois cavaliers, à tous les autres. Lausanne est la capitale olympique avec 50 fédérations sportives ou associations qui ont leur siège à Lausanne. Nous sommes donc la capitale mondiale de l'administration du sport, mais nous voulons aussi accueillir des manifestations. C'est partie de notre politique et le Longines Global Champion Tour est une de ces manifestations prestigieuses que nous accueillons à Lausanne. Et bien sûr, pour nous, c'est un honneur et un plaisir. Ça fait aussi partie de notre mission de capitale olympique.
Well, thank you. And to come to Mr. Jan Tops, President of the Longines Global Champions Tour, well, each leg produces a classic competition and a group of classic riders as part of the lineup here as well. And, of course, it's changed around the order for the overall series once again.
From Lutger, it's been fantastic. You see, he won this weekend in London second. He's, the last four events is coming up very strongly. Now it's getting more and more open. It's also very nice to see John being on the podium. We know him for many years, and to see him, back in the top sport here again, beating everybody else is great to see. And also Jose, who is, I think it's the first time for him to be on the podium, to see new faces and to build, new partners on this level is very nice to see. I think, it's getting very close with the final two stages. Scott is, of course, still in good position because he has only five scores counting, so he's not totally away. It's going to be very close between Scott, Rolf, and Lutger. I think that these three are to watch for the final event.
And from your point of view, we were watching you at the podium, the smile on your face, because you'd have competed against these guys as well.
Yeah, there's some years ago. They are great competitors and good friends, and great. The most important, I think, they are great ambassadors for our sport. Lutger has been for 30 years already absolutely top, same as John. And to see these people again, first and second on the podium, it's fantastic for our sport.
Absolutely, a wonderful day for the sport. Walter van Keenel of Longines. From your point of view here, the Swiss leg, the home of Longines as well, another classic encounter of the sport.
Yeah, let's start to thank the city of Lausanne, Jan and his team, all the riders, the horses, the groom, all the volunteers, the press, and here, as Mr. Vieux said, we are at home. We're lucky, no accident. Lucky that Lutger won. I think he will soon be able to open a watch shop. John too, by the way. And we hope that the newcomer will be so happy. So it's so nice to be here. Equestrian is getting more and more massive in Longines. Jumping races, and you did all a great job, and no accident.
Absolutely, all wonderful performance by everybody involved, and the man involved at the top, Lutger Beerbaum. Well, we were saying that actually when I interviewed you a little earlier on, I mean the delight on your face, no matter what Grand Prix it is, you still enjoy the winner's top position.
Yes, definitely. It's always nice to win, even on different levels. But especially here, of course, winning a leg of the Longines Global Champions Tour in the Olympic capital, Lausanne, is something really special. Even though I only come from a small village in Germany, it's a pleasure to be here in such a prestigious town and to win in front of a lot of world-class combinations here is something really special. And then also just simply my performance today, I'm really, really pleased with. My horse jumped fantastic both rounds, and then jump off, you can always say you can do better, but it was close to really, really good, close to perfect.
That's something from you.
So I'm
Ladies and gentlemen, wonderful performance from Lutger. And what about the man next to him? I mean, they've been rivals, friends as well for many years. John Whittaker in second. You and Argento, a win a few weeks ago and coming on the back of that, getting better and better again.
Yeah, can you hear me? Hello.
Keep going.
Yeah, I think obviously very pleased to be second. I would have preferred to have won. Ludger was just too fast because my horse is really fast, and I think I just took too many strides. But yeah, my horse jumped fantastic, and I just back what Ludger said. It's super show, super town and city, and it's fantastic to be here, and had a really good day.
And how much does it mean to you to have a horse that you can be in this position with?
Oh, very good. He's okay. He hasn't got probably the scope and the power of some of these horses, but he's a real trier, and he's also developing more. You know, he's getting more scope. And when I walked the course, I thought it looks really big for me, but he jumped it really good. He jumped it easy enough, actually.
Yeah, fantastic performance. And Jose La Roca, to come to you, your first time on the podium here from that point of view. We'll still pass you the mic. From that side of things, it looks better. And from your point of view, to be up there on a podium with these two there as well, how special is this for you?
I'm very, very proud. Actually, was not expecting to be here. So this result is amazing. My horse jumped super both rounds and jump off. I just looked at what I have to do to beat him. And he says, try your best. I did best I could and was not good enough. But I'm very, very happy with the result. And very grateful to be here.
And you say grateful to be there, but I mean your rounds, all 3 rounds, and certainly rounds 1 and 2 were very, very good indeed, and certainly up there with these boys. How did you feel about those?
The horse has been jumping very good, improving throughout the year. He had a fantastic preparation towards the World Games. Unfortunately, we had an early exit from the World Games, and okay, that's why he was very fresh today. And but he's been getting better and better, and the confidence between us is there. So I hope we can continue and be back in this position soon enough.
Well, every cloud has a silver lining. Very well done there. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, any questions from the press here? Okay, well that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very, very much for attending. Let's have a huge round of applause. A fantastic day for the sport, and very well done to Ludger Beerbaum, our champion here in Lausanne.